Dr. Henry, there's a question and answer release from your publisher about the book that you and your sister have written. It says that you are going to donate your advances to charity, but I'm just curious, what about other revenues from this project? And if you're not going to do that, is that fair for a public servant to profit from work they do on the side?
Of course it is. Of course it's fair. What? Ian, are you trying to take money out of my pocket? Why wouldn't it be? Huh? What? Of course it's... Why wouldn't it be fair? It's going to a charity, isn't it? Well, not all of it. Some of it. Well, a little bitty of it. That's how me and my sister developed this. We're going to donate our advance. Hey guys, Clint here again, former cop, talking about viruses and disease and sickness. I will not get offended if you shut this off right now, because it's not going to be good. It's not going to be my best stuff. It's not even an episode. It's just a clip that I felt like I needed to say something. Why am I breathing heavy? I felt like I needed to get down here and just get something off my chest. But before you shut it off, can you subscribe, please? I love it when you subscribe. Sometimes I get 3 subscribers a day, and each time it pops up on my phone, and it makes me happy. It's a burst of happiness that I get when you subscribe to my channel. I had a friend over the other day. Yeah, I did. I know I'm the devil. I had a friend over, not in my bubble. And the friend is telling me that Dr. Bonnie Henry, oh God, this is so annoying, wrote a book. And I'm like, no, she didn't. She didn't write a book. She wouldn't dare write a book right now. Yeah, they tell me she wrote a book. It's called Be Kind, Be Calm, Be Safe. I'm like, shut up. That's stupid. Who's going to read that book? So the next day I wake up and I'm like, did she really write a book? Did she actually write a book? So I do my research. I research this. But I read an article. And it's from CTV. And I'm just going to read one sentence. She wrote a book, guys. But she's donating her book advance to such and such, to a charity. She's donating this to this charity. That's a big deal, right? Dr. Henry was asked if she would be donating all proceeds to charity, comma, but didn't answer. And I'm like, huh? Well, that's not an answer. Somebody wrote this article. Somebody wrote this article, CTV, and I'm like, what? How can they end it like that? Dr. Henry was asked if she would be donating all proceeds to charity, but didn't answer. Health Minister, I'm like, well, the big story is that she didn't answer. How did she not answer? Did she put her fingers in her ear? What'd she do? How do you not answer something? Why wouldn't this author of this article go into detail about how she... What do you mean she wouldn't answer? Are you going to get all proceeds? Are you going to be donating all proceeds to charity? It's a pretty good question, right? But she didn't answer it. So I did my research, and I had to go back to December 17th, I think it is. No, December 21st. I had to go back to December 21st and watch Dr. Henry's press conference. I watched it for over an hour to see how she didn't answer, and I want to show it to you. I want to show you how Bonnie didn't answer this question. I'm a retired cop talking about Bonnie Henry, but I'm sorry, it's a big deal. She's running the country, and now she's writing a book over the decisions that she's I'll get into it in a second. Let's jump right into it. This is the press conference that Henry was at and was asked a question. And I think the guy works for Globe and Mail, Ian Butler. Perfect question. I love the question.
Next question is from Ian Bailey, Globe and Mail.
Ian Bailey, not Butler.
To every single community across British Columbia.
Next question is from Ian Bailey, Globe and Mail.
Dr. Henry, there's a question and answer release from your publisher about the book that you and your sister have written. It says that you are going to donate your advances to charity, but I'm just curious, what about other revenues from this project? And if you're not going to do that, is that fair for a public servant to profit from work they do on the side?
Of course it's fair. Ian, of course it's fair. Did you see her face? Great question. But nobody's talking about this. No news outlet. This is the story. The story isn't that she's writing the book. And why do you make that face?
But I'm just curious, what about other revenues from this project? And if you're not going to do that, is that fair for a public servant to profit from work they do on the side of their work as public servants?
Yeah, well, I can say that this book was something that I wrote on about my 6 days off.
She wrote on her 6 days off, guys. She wrote a book on 6 days. Really? Wow. That's first of all, who the fuck wants to read this stupid ass book? But she's going to make a lot of money from this book. But why would you want to read it? And she wrote it on her 6 days off. Oh, you got it so tough, don't you? She's telling you, the viewer, that she's only had 6 days off.
And it really is about, the personal story of what we went through.
What'd you go through? What we went through? What do you mean? Shutting down their businesses? Telling them they can't work? Telling them they got to be poorer than they are? Amazing. She's telling you how hard it was for her. She hasn't lost a day's pay.
And yes, I used the opportunity to make a donation to First Book Canada.
Oh, she wrote the book to benefit an organized... I got to rewind that. That's why she wrote it. She took the opportunity to donate her money to an organization.
To make a donation to First Book Canada.
She took the opportunity to make a donation to First Book Canada. How much of a donation? That's why she wrote the book, guys. To be a charity giver. To give money to a charity. Right.
And it's an organization that provides support for children around.
You notice how she's not answering the question? The question was, are you going to continue to get royalties from this book? Are you donating all proceeds to this charity that you're donating to? Not going to answer that yet.
Support for children around Canada to make sure they have access to literary supplies, books, and education. And that is something that is near and dear to me and something I feel is very important, particularly as we know that young people have suffered from the challenges through this pandemic in the last few months.
Ian, do you have a follow-up?
She doesn't answer the question. Asked a simple, basic question. Are you going to give every proceeds, every penny that you make from this book to this charity? And she just talks about an advance that she gets from the publisher that she's going to donate. But she won't answer Ian's question. So Ian asks again. This is where it gets interesting.
And it really is about, the personal story of what we went through, my sister and myself, during a period of time in March.
I'm still confused what she went through. A story about her and her sister, who is a publisher and an editor, works for the company. It's a story about their difficulties. What are you talking about? Okay, let's just keep it going. This is so...
All going through many challenging times.
You weren't going through a challenging time at all.
And yes, I used the opportunity to make a donation to First Book Canada, and it's an organization that provides support for children around Canada to make sure they have...
I'm sorry, you guys don't know this, but I'm watching this again, and I'm coming up with new stuff, and I can't believe what she's saying, that she made it was her opportunity to donate to a charity. It was her opportunity to make money. A lot of money. A lot of money. When she retires, she's going to be making a lot of money off this book.
Ian, do you have a follow-up?
This is Ian's follow-up question. I know I'm all over the place. I told you not to watch this.
Ian, do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, I'm going to make it sort of a split follow-up on that first question. Will you donate all ongoing revenues beyond your advance to charity?
Has to ask again. This guy has to ask again. What does she do? CBC didn't report this part. Watch this. Watch what she does. Watch this.
On that first question, will you donate all ongoing revenues beyond your advance to charity? And this may be also a question for Minister Dix. How in this book do you sort of deal with breaching or reporting on, shall we say, the confidences of conversations you may have had with the Premier?
She fucks right off. Just fucks off. I'm not going to answer that. You got to rewind it. You got to rewind it.
On, shall we say, the confidences of conversation.
I'm Bonnie Henry. I don't have to answer a difficult, awkward question. It's not even that difficult. It's not even a difficult question. Why wouldn't you answer that, Bonnie? Because you know the answer, right? Makes you feel uncomfortable. You've made people feel uncomfortable in Canada for, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. It's going to go on for into next year, into 2022. And you can't answer a simple question? What's the name of your book? What is the name? Be Kind? Is that being kind? Are you being kind to Ian and the rest of Canadians if you don't answer the question? Are you being calm? Yeah, be kind, be calm, be safe. Are you being calm? Is that being calm? You're running away from the... She's thinking in her head, I'm Bonnie Henry. You don't ask me a question like that. I'm not here to answer that question. I'm Bonnie Henry. You don't ask a question like that to Bonnie Henry. She thinks she's better than Ian. She thinks she's better than all Canadians. That she thinks she's so powerful that she doesn't have to answer that question. Bonnie, are you going to make money off the book? Not going to answer it. Of course she's going to make money off the book. Be calm? Is that calm? That's not being calm. That's running away. That's being safe. Yeah, I'm going to be safe. I'm not going to answer it. Scared to answer the question, but she has a duty to answer the question, and she won't. And nobody is talking about this. Why is that? Why isn't anybody talking? Why are we so goofy in Canada? Why do we lay down and just listen to... Why is a doctor, government is telling you that you can't work. Bonnie Henry, a doctor, is telling you, Canada, that you can't work. And she can't even answer a simple question because it's uncomfortable. What gives you the right to walk away from an awkward moment?
Say the confidences of conversations you may have had with the Premier, with Mr. Dix, with other members of Cabinet. Are you going to report on those conversations? And if you're not, what value will your book have?
Well, Bonnie's not there anymore, dude. Okay? It's this guy. Bonnie pissed off. I just can't believe this. Like, they're mad. They're mad that you would ask an intelligent, actually a great question from a reporter, a journalist, whatever he is. Ian Butler. It's not Butler. something else. I can't remember. Ian, good job. But Bonnie left because it got a little awkward for her. What's this guy going to say? He looks pissed.
As with
Well, first of all, we got
as with all books, and I suppose all written materials, because of I think it's a real contribution to public understanding of the very issues that we weren't dealing with it in the same way then, although do in part, and we are now.
Huh? What are you saying? What the fuck was that?
And I have absolute confidence in that what she's going to present, one, will be vastly readable. And I look forward to, I'll be first in line at my local independent bookstore to pick it up.
That's weird. He's going to be first in line. Why would you do that? What a nut. You're a nut. Why would you be first in line? Is he bullshitting us? Do you actually think he's going to be first in line for it? Would you be first in line for it? Why would there be a lineup? But he's going to be first in line. Like, get a life, man. I don't even know what this guy's name is. Dick? Or Dix? Dix. Dix is going to be first in line for this book. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Vastly readable.
Vastly readable. How many times is he going to say that?
I must say that I happen to know that I've taken probably about 7 days where I haven't dealt with the pandemic in BC since the beginning of the pandemic. That I've taken probably about 7 days where I haven't dealt with the pandemic in BC since the beginning of the pandemic, and the doctor.
He's taken 7 days. He works during the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, guys. He answers maybe a couple of text messages. He wants you to think that he's only taken 7 days off since the virus in March. He's only taken 7 days off. Crock of shit. You've lost all credibility, all integrity. You're a liar. That's what you are.
Dr. Henry has taken less.
But Dr. Henry has taken less, guys. She's taken 6 days off. Who writes a book in 6 days? How do you write a book in 6 days?
And I'm looking forward to hearing what Dr. Henry writes, but it won't be for a few months. So in any event, there are, as far as I'm concerned, no issues.
No issues, Ian. God.
No issues.
There are no issues, guys. No issues. Well, I got an issue. I got a big issue. And nobody else does. I feel like nobody else does. Bonnie Henry didn't answer that question because it was going to be a bad answer. Book advance. She's donating her advance. Do you guys know what that means? No, you don't. You don't know what that means. I'm going to tell you what that means. When you write a book, the publisher will give you money. They will advance money to you to write the book. For example, if I was a publisher and I approached a Mountie and I said, hey man, I want your retired or your whatever. I want you to write a book. I'm going to advance you, I don't know, let's say $10,000, $15,000, maybe 20. I'm going to give you this money. The money isn't an advance, so it will pay your rent. It will pay your bills. It'll give you food. What I want in return is for you to write the book. Now, when you finish that book, you have to pay the advance back. Yeah. The advance is a loan, guys. Did you know that? It's a loan. How does he pay me back? Well, he wrote the book. I now have his product. When I sell the book, I collect the royalties that he pays off. He pays off from me selling the book. So if I sell 10,000 copies, maybe 10,000 copies will pay the advance, the $20,000 that I gave him, the $15,000 that I gave him. Now, after he's paid the advance back to me, from the selling of the book. Now he collects royalties off of this book for the rest of his life until he dies. Every time somebody buys a book, he gets paid. Here's what's sketchy. What's her advance? Her sister works for a publisher. Okay? She's a bigwig at a publisher. They're saving money on publishing. They're saving money on editing. They're saving money in all things that cost money for a book to be created. They're saving on. What's the advance? Bonnie Henry. She gets paid every single day. She hasn't missed a day pay. She doesn't need an advance. She doesn't need one. Why would she take one? The advance is for people that can stay home and write the book, don't work, and can buy groceries, meat, and potatoes, okay? And maybe some shrimp. That's what the advance is for. She wrote it in 6 days. What kind of advance do you think her and her sister got? Why isn't anybody asking that question? And why is it a big deal? I'll tell you why it's a big deal. Once the advance is paid off, she makes money from the book. So what did Bonnie Henry do? Maybe I'm wrong, but I bet I'm right. She took a small advance. Her and her sister took a small advance on this book. Why wouldn't you? We'll take $1,000 advance. They don't need a loan. Why would you need a loan? They're wealthy. Why would you need a loan to write a book? Especially, why would you need a loan to write a book, an advance to write a book, when you wrote it in 6 days? This advance is tiny, but nobody's asking how much of advance it is. Ian, you got to ask her. What's the advance that you're getting? That you're donating? What is she really donating to this charity? Because if it was me and somebody asked me to write a book, I don't need an advance. I get paid every single day. We're doing good. I don't need money. I don't need money to write a book. Why would I take a loan from you? I don't need a loan from you. I don't need anything from you. I'll just write the book and I'll give it to the publisher. I don't need one. Think about it. Think about it. They knew back in March and April, I guarantee it, mark my words, that they were going to write this book. Her name's Lynn. That's her sister. She came over in March. Lynn knew she was going to write a book. They wrote it together. They knew that they were going to say, hey, how do we get around with people thinking that we're going to benefit from this? I know what we're going to do. We will put our advances to charity. That will shut everybody up. No, it's not going to shut me up because I know what you're doing. If you take a $50,000 advance, which they didn't, not even close, and they give it to charity, they don't make any money off that book until that $50,000 advance is paid off. If they take a $500 or a $900 advance, after that $900 advance that they donated to charity, that's when they start making money off the book. The smaller advance they accept, the more money they make. But nobody's talking about this. Why? And she's not answering it. Why am I upset that she's going to make, she hasn't lost a day's pay, and she's about to make a bunch of money off her book? Commercials to book writing. This is why I'm mad. This is why I'm angry. She's making money from the decisions that she has made and still makes. She makes the decision, and now she's going to profit from those decisions that she's making. She has shut down businesses, she has shut down restaurants, and she's going to make money from it. From her decisions. And we're allowing this. Can you imagine being in control like she is, and every decision she makes, she can now write about it and sell it? You know how you write a book? You shut down Canada. You shut down British Columbia. That's what you do. That's how you write a book. Maybe it will be interesting. She talks about what she went through, her challenges. Her challenges. But do you not understand what you did? What about the people that lost restaurants, gyms, their livelihood? They spent their entire life trying to build this, and it was taken away from them. How about comedians? And I know I always bring that up. Comedians that'll never be comedians, that relied on going to a nightclub and talking in front of an audience and getting $50 a night. Sometimes nothing. You've taken people's lives away, and now you're going to write about it. Cancer screenings down. Suicides up. Domestics up. Divorce up. Mental health problems, issues up. Heart disease and suicide, and you're going to write about it. You're going to reap the benefits from people's bodies. Dead bodies. And you're pretending that you're donating everything to it, and you won't even answer the question. You're not donating shit to the charity. What advance? How much money are you donating to this charity? I guarantee you it's low. And if I'm wrong, I'll tell you. But I'll bet my house on it that her and her sister developed this plan a long time ago. And they said, we don't need a loan. We don't need an advance loan. Let's accept a small one. And then we'll tell the media that we've donated the money. They never thought in a million years that Ian was going to ask them this question. And nobody else will. Guaranteed. After this. I hope they do. How much money, Bonnie, did you donate? And why you tell me you took 6 days off this whole time? That's bullshit and you know it. You didn't take 6 days. How? You telling me you're working every long weekend since March? Just answering a text message, that's not working, I'm sorry. Okay? Answering an email, that's not working. Don't make as though you only took 6 days off. And it only took you 6 days to write a book? You've been writing the book the whole time. You've been keeping notes in March and April. Ask that question. Have you been keeping notes in March and April about what's been going on, knowing in the back of your mind that you might write a book? She won't be honest with you, but that's exactly what she did. Maybe that's why it only took 6 days, guys. Gonna name the book Be Kind, but are you kind? Are you kind? You let inmates out of mission. You shut down all this shit. You've made the poor poor. You've made elderly die alone. Do you guys even know what's going on in the care homes? Not my wife, somebody else told me, who works in a care home. One of the residents came up to her and said, they're not seeing their family, guys. They haven't seen family. Okay? Understand that. This is the kind Bonnie Henry that allowed this. Protecting them? Are you protecting the elderly? Is that what you call it? Dying alone? This elderly lady came to this employee and said, I don't want to live anymore. And I don't blame her. Why would she want to live anymore? What's the meaning of life? The meaning of life is having family around. They're dying in care homes, not because of COVID. Well, of course, some of them are dying because of COVID. But do you not think the majority of them are dying because there's no meaning of life and they can't even see their family? Is that being kind? Is that being safe to them? Could you imagine being in a care home? It's jail. They can't even see family. Was she really protecting the elderly in care homes? It's easy to protect them. That's not one of them. That's not how you protect them. That's how you end their life. And isn't it funny how she says she wrote the book on her own time? What do you think entrepreneurs do? What do you think people in the restaurant business, gym business, all the little small businesses, I know I keep on using the same example. What do you think they did in their own time? But you're allowed to make money? You're allowed to make money off your book? You're allowed to make money off the decisions that you have made for Canada? This isn't going to stop. It's never going to stop. I don't see an end. Why would she stop? Why would the government stop making these decisions? Why would Bonnie Henry, the doctor, she loves it. She's not going to give her power up. Why would you give up a badge? Why would you give up the power? Why would you give up part 2 of her book? She gets to write another book after this. The longer she keeps this up, the more money she's going to make. Every time she makes a silly rule, she makes money from it. She gets to write it down. These aren't hard decisions for her. And I'm not saying she's a terrible lady. I know she probably has a good heart. It's conniving, but it's good. It's a good heart. She's trying to be a nice person, but there's more deaths from her decisions than there are COVID. Suicide, cancer screenings, domestics, mental illness. You wait. You wait. You'll see what I'm talking about. The numbers will come out afterwards. People have lost their lives. They've lost their livelihood. But we just sit back and let her do it. I don't know. You get to decide who works and who doesn't work. And you have a problem with answering a simple question. Because I'm Bonnie Henry, right? I don't have to answer that question. Stupid. Stupid that I even did a video on this and that I thought about this for like a couple of days and it was bugging me. Dumb. What's the next rule? Aren't you curious what the next rule is going to be? This is getting so goofy. The vaccine's coming out in 8 days, right? Something like that. 10 days. The wife's getting it in 8. I don't know, January 6th, January 8th. What a great time to make money off a book. Why wouldn't you just answer the question? We all know you're going to make a ton of money off this book. And it's gross. It's disgusting. Be kind. Now you're mean. You're mean. That is not being kind. You want to be kind? Bonnie? Like, you're making as though that you're kind, right? Donate your money. That people have died. Donate it to people that died from the virus. Donate it to the businesses that you destroyed. Help destroy. That's how you be kind. You don't donate it to whatever you said you donated it to. Some bullshit. Anyways, guys, don't watch this. I love you. Happy New Year. It's coming up. And drink your face off. 2021 is almost here, and I don't know. Is anything going to be different? Are we going to be able to go to Vegas in 2021? When? Do you actually think that? What? I mean, now I'm going off again, but they don't want to lose their power. They don't want to lose their position. They're making money from it. It feels good to have power. It feels good to have power. Nobody wants to give the badge up. Nobody wants a badge to be in plastic. They don't want their badge to be in plastic. They want to keep on talking every day. They want to have part 2 of the book. Can you go to Vegas? Are you going to be able to go to Vegas? Or are we going to have to quarantine for 14 days afterwards? How long is that going to go on for, right? You're going to have the vaccine. Do you still have to wear a mask? Do you not think that they've thought of this? Have a vaccine. I'm making things up, but I guarantee you it's going to be just because you had your vaccines doesn't mean you're not allowed to walk around without a mask. It'll be something like that. And why wouldn't you? We're allowing it. Canada, the nicest place in the world. We allow it to happen. We allow doctors to run our country. And dicks. We allow dicks to run our country. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Maybe you should be donating your proceeds to the businesses that you shut down. How about that? To people who overdosed, committed suicide. because of your COVID rules, maybe you should donate all your proceeds to their families. No. Gonna donate it to a bullshit charity is what you're gonna do. It's bullshit. It's a dumb charity.
Andy